Okay, brothers and sisters in Christ, I want to discuss about the coming cashless society. Okay, about your cell phones. Your cell phone, don't leave home without it. For the main tools of a coming cashless society are credit cards, debit cards, smart cards, and cell phones. We are all familiar with credit cards and debit cards, and we discussed smart cards briefly in the last chapter. But the real future of the coming cashless society is right in your hand or pocket. It's now widely believed that the cell phone you carry with you everywhere will ultimately replace even your credit cards. It will be the digital wallet of the future. Many people today have their cell phones with them 24/7. They carry it with them even as they are horseback riding, roller skating, sitting in church, or doing just about anything, other activities you can think of. The cell phone has become beneath its availability, electronic borders. It has become the beacon of modern day society. Not long ago, I was watching a program on television that featured a seaman that had something to do with Africa. As I looked on, I suddenly noticed something that I never forgotten. In the middle of nowhere, surrounded by cracked earth and a few cattle, stood a half-naked tribesman talking on a cell phone. Something about that picture just wasn't right. How did he get a cell phone? Who he was talking to? Where is his monthly bill sent? Then it struck me. Anyone, anywhere can now talk to anyone else. Anytime. Globalism, fueled by incredible technology, is here. According to experts, cell phones are going to replace credit cards. They will also replace BCs as the primarily getaway to the internet. The world population is almost 7 billion, and it's intimated that there are now almost 6 billion cell phones in the world, and the number continues to rise. Visa is actively imploring the use of cell phones or mobile payments. BBC News carried an article in February 2009 titled "Challenges to a Cashless World," which reported that mobile phones will become the entrant link to the coming cashless society. They believe this will become reality sometime in the next 3 to 5 years. Once you would leave home without it, but the credit card could soon be causing its own chips. Experts predict that paying by plastic will make way for payments by mobile phones, key fob, or even fingerprint, like the checkbook, video, and CD. Before the Plus credit card could be on the way out within 5 years. According to leading finances yesterday, Berlin, which incurred the UK's first credit card in 1966, announced it was pouring millions into developing payments technology. The group has already developed a credit card that can be used without having to be taken out of a wallet. It hopes to take payments a step further with chips that can be injected into mobile phones and shoppers to buy images by simply holding their headsets over them. The publish would be confirmed by typing a PIN into the phone with no need to go to the checkout. There is even talk, of course, paying by fingerprint or eye recognition in the future. The credit card company even being alerted to special officers in nearby shops through their mobiles, which they can then use to pay. The idea is that a customer could hold his headset over its limit, such as a switch to get the price and the number of course displayed on the screen before decided rather to buy. The economics point to mobile phones as to the ticket to the future of coming. Some of the included have a new trick for checking the identity of their VIP guests. They send an entry pass in the form of super to their mobile phones. This is scanned by the gentleman who lifts the veil rope. Even those who must pay to get in may need their headset. At the recent Plovers Night at London, the sound students were offered to, if they use their mobile phones to buy electronic tickets. Mobile phones are becoming an incredible way to make all sorts of payments in America. Fans of the have been testing to their cards to enter their local and to buy refreshments. Elsewhere, schemes are more advanced or advised. You can already pass the day in Australia without carrying cash, credit or debit card, by paying for everything, including customer goods, with a mobile phone. This is where we're headed, people. This is where everything is headed, people. Okay? It requires no self-fiction leap of faith to see where all of this is headed. As more advanced technology comes online, it in turn streams more complete technology and on. There are probably very few people today who have to be convinced that we are on the fast track to the technology of tomorrow. Cashless is coming. The issue is no longer if it is coming, but rather when it will come, and what kind of technology will be used to implant it. Cashless, the heart of the Antichrist system. Now the Bible never expressly says the coming one world economic system will be a cashless system. It only says that people will need the beast mark in order to transact business. However, if cash is still king during the reign of Antichrist, it would be very difficult for him to control world commerce. Think about it. If people are still able to use cash, those who are without the mark could develop an excellent black market system that would allow them to secure goods and services. But if there is no cash available, people will have to use the mark to make payments. The abuse of cash and the adoption of some kind of electronic transaction system would give the Antichrist the means to enforce his complete strong stranglehold on world commerce. The only left to people outside his electronic system would be bearing, and this would last only as long as people have things of value to trade. Make no mistake, if the Antichrist is to gain control over every sale or publish, it appears cash must be eliminated so that there is a record of every transaction that takes place. I want to talk about this in a minute. Does this mean we should resist the cashless trade and avoid using services such as electronic passes or smart cards? Not necessary. None of these use are inherent evil in and of themselves. These new technologies are very convenient and make sense, but we do need to be aware of what is happening and how these changes may be setting the stage for what's to come. The bottom line is this: the coming cashless society is not for evil, but it does serve as a sign that we're drawing close to the end times. More than 40 years ago, in 1970, blockbuster bestseller Late Great Planet Earth saw what was coming by looking through the lens of Bible prophecy, talking about Hal Lindsey, Bible prophecy teacher. Do you believe it will be possible for people to be controlled electronically in our current society where we are all numbered from birth to death? It seems completely possible that someday in the near future, the numbers react will conclude and we will have just one number for all our businesses, money and credit transactions. Leading numbers of the business company are now planning that all money matters will be handled electronically. We see this coming true today, right before our eyes. One of the key challenges of going to a cashless system is making sure the person who is using the smart card or cell phone to make a transaction is the real owner. But ownership could be easily verified by the use of some kind of biometrics. You see that? Biometrics, along with global posting technology. In fact, the biometrics that the beast could employ is quickly moving into place. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I've been telling you guys. Biometrics. Okay, hold on. That's the next one here. Biometrics. Biometrics is the science and technology of measuring and analyzing biological data information. Technology biometrics refer to technology that measures and analyzes human body characteristics such as fingerprints, irises, and irises, voice patterns, facial patterns, and hand measurements for image purposes. This is exactly what they're doing. The FBI, okay, people? Hold on. When the world goes cashless, the Antichrist isn't far off. And this is so true. The Bible prophesies a coming cashless society, and that's exactly what is happening right now before our very eyes. But this is what I wanted to tell you guys. Yeah. The FBI has been working on a biometric database, and they said the next generation's identification, which is now, for those of you that have little kids, this is now. That's their generation. So the next generation's identification will be biometrics. They want everybody to go into biometrics and everything. This is what they're bringing in, is biometric technology to analyze. They're going to try to make it sound nothing but good. This is a new technology that we came up with to protect you from identity theft. And the world's superpowers are already talking about coming up with something that can be implanted in an individual that cannot be stolen from them. Now, isn't that significant? But anyways, this is all Bible prophecy coming to pass right before our very eyes. But what about people that don't have cell phones? They said cell phones is going to replace people like me. I don't want a cell phone because it's a tracking device. That's all that is tracking. And each credit card, debit card you use, they're recording all your credit transactions. They're taking all that stuff that you buy. They're putting it all on the computer. to see what type of person you are. Each thing you buy is recorded. They're taking all the transactions, all your financial transactions. They're recording all of it, and they're collecting all that data, and they're keeping it to see what type of food you eat, and so on and so on. They're building all this data on you. They're meddling data off of us. So how are they going to do it? Well, then you say, well, now we have some people that don't have cell phones. And isn't it funny that if you don't have a cell phone, the government will give you one for free? Now, why is that? Maybe because they want to track you. But anyways, everything's headed towards biometrics. Put it that way. They're pre-programming the people to get used to paying for stuff with body parts. And that's exactly what the Bible said, that no one will be able to buy or sell except one who has the mark of the beast on the right hand or on their forehead, or in the forehead, or in the right hand or in the forehead. So they're getting people used to buying for stuff. What is biometrics? 3 measurements of the body. They analyze your hand, your palm, and then it's in the computer. It's in their database. And they put these things on your eyes. They take your eyes, take a picture of your eyes. Now your eyes are in the database. And then they take a digital photograph of your face. Now your face is in the database. Now whenever you go to a store and you put your hand on a palm scanning machine or a facial recognition camera or an iris scan, it notifies directly the database that already has your data in it, so it analyzes it and it matches that it's the exact same fingerprint, it's the exact same eye reading, and it's the exact same face, because it reads your face and it notifies and it accepts. And that's how you will buy stuff. So this is where we're headed. Like, they're already doing it in Florida to the people. Like, the parents were outraged because they did the children and everything. They're biometrics. So that's why I'm saying, if there ever comes a time that the only way that we can log on to the internet is if we do a biometric scan, you guys will never hear from me again. Just to let you be aware of that. I'm going to have to shut down my ministry, even though I wouldn't want to do it. But you know what? I'm not supporting this Antichrist system. I'm not supporting it at all. So you guys will never hear from me again. Just to let you guys be aware of that. Because they're talking about it. Like, very soon, the only way that you'll be able to log on to the net, because with the new computers coming out, they're coming in with biometric palm scanning things, where it's going to have to analyze your hand. That's the only way that you can go onto the net. So they're going to know exactly who you are, and so on. And all kinds of crazy stuff. So this is where we're headed. But this is what I want to talk about. This was like about a couple of years ago at the G20 summit. They said, what did you come up with? They said, well, we don't plan to get rid of America's currency overnight. But yes, it's about time that we step towards a global currency. And the reason for this is to solve economic problems in America and worldwide. And there was another guy that was hearing a preacher, like he was discussing about what the book of Revelation says. No one will be able to buy or sell except he that has a mark. So the Bible clearly teaches that there's coming a cashless society. And at the end of his preaching, there was an individual that was there that was working at a credit card company. And he went up to him. He's like, I don't want to tell you what type of credit card company I'm working at, but everything that you said tonight is actually the truth. It would be more easier for our business and for our working. Because that's why we want to get rid of cash. It would be more easy for us and so on. And then there was this other guy that was talking on the news. I think it's about time that we dismantle our currency and we step towards a global currency immediately. But this is the thing that I want to talk to you about, is this right here. At the G20 summit, they were saying in the not too distant future, they're calling for a one world monetary leader. Now, a one world monetary leader is a single person, a single leader that will be in control of all of the money. You see that? Financial control, financial dictatorship. And they're saying now that the only way that you'll be able to do transactions and banking, you name it, will be linked into your data, which is biometric. They're getting everybody conditioned for this. They're getting people used to paying for stuff with their hands and their faces. So when the mark of the beast comes down the line, people will willingly accept it. They'll be, because their mind will be so used to doing it. So when they say, okay, now instead of just scanning, because we got a virus in our computer, You're gonna make up something. So now we're gonna invent a microchip that will go underneath your skin or on your forehead, so you won't have to worry. Or it'll be a laser mark, or a biometric mark, or it'll be a biometric microchip, or an RFID microchip, or whatever it will be. Everything is here, because now they have RFID microchips that are the size of a speck of dust. You can put that right in your forehead like nothing. And you can do all transactions that way. That's exactly what the Bible prophesied. You see, people, to show, for those of you that don't believe in God, take a look at what's going on around our world. This has never ever happened ever before. And yet the Bible exactly prophesied this over 3,000 years ago in the book of Revelation, that declared that there is coming a one world government, one world currency, a one world religion, a one world economic system, a one world military power, and a cashless society. That's the only way that they can control everybody, is they go cashless. Because certain people work under the table and other things. So that's why they want to have total control by going into a cashless society. And this is exactly where we're headed. Exactly as the Bible prophesied. Everything that God said in the past has happened. You can study the prophecies that he said in the past, and they happen exactly as he said it. Word for word, right to the smallest detail. Precision. So God says there's coming a world government, and all the other following events about the cashless society, the reign of the Antichrist, and those also will be fulfilled exactly as the other prophecies that he said were also fulfilled literally, and these ones also will be fulfilled literally as well. So we are living in exciting times, my friends. But before I go, I want you guys to listen to this. It's just totally incredible how they are conditioning people for the mark of the beast. Because I saw this before on another. You even see it on Futurama. Look at the cartoon, man. Just the name of it, Futurama. They said, sit down. You got to do what you got to do. He's like, what is that? He's like, I'm about to give you your career chip. He was putting a career chip in him, okay? Or the woman or whatever it was. Putting a career chip, microchip. They're all making it sound good. Just like on the movie the Militia Man. It's all in these videos about putting microchips in people. They're conditioning. It's pre-programmed. This is what people are doing. And I want you guys to be aware of this. Bible prophecy is pre-recorded history. It's going to happen as if it already happened. God said it was going to happen, and it's happening. It's present as if it already happened for God. But for us, it's not. For us, we have to wait until it happens. But we can see it already starting to happen. But God already saw. He said, I declare the end from the beginning. And also this. Listen to this. This is crazy. What's it called here? What's that thing called? Yeah, Law and Order. There was this murder case where they found a woman that was injected with a microchip. So they found out they said this is a Vera chip, like an RFID chip. You know, why in the world would someone do this? Like the person that put this chip in the person had to have done it while the person was unconscious. So they went to find the guy, and they found out that it was the husband that killed the wife. It's like, why did you put a chip in your wife? He's like, well, she was cheating on me. And by the way, within 15 years, yeah, he said, this is the way of the, and they're like, why in the world would you why would you do this for? He says, well, she was cheating on me. And by the way, this is the way of the future. Within 15 years from now, everybody's going to have a chip in them. You see that? The Illuminati controls the Hollywood, the TV shows, how they're getting everybody programmed. Within 15 years from now, everybody's going to have a chip in them. And it's just incredible. Like right after after September 11th, 2004, the Vera Chip Corporation came in. Everybody gets microchips. So many people getting chips in them. You have alien technology with its RFID chips. You have the digital angel that are preparing the microchips by the thousands. And you have these special nightclubs, Baja clubs, VIPs that go there that have chips in their arm. And they go there and they just scan them, beep, because there are certain VIPs, they know exactly how to give, they don't use cards, cash, or nothing. They just scan them. Like, it's here, people. Everything is here. Exactly as the Bible said. we are definitely living in exciting times. All this stuff is leading up, and we're not going to be here for this. So this tells us how close we are to the rapture of the church. So people that say that they don't believe the Bible, they haven't done any research whatsoever, because everything the Bible said it's happening right before our very eyes right now. It's happening right now, and they say this is the way of the future. They're actually talking about cradle to the from birth, cradle to the grave. That when someone is born, they implant them with a chip until their birth. They're collecting all their DNA, and scientists is calling for a world DNA database. Like it's literally incredible. Like where we are right now, people. Everything is going cashless. Almost everybody today doesn't use cash. Most of them use credit cards, debit cards, but that's what their plan is. We're going to biometrics, and then it's going to go from the biometric ID card into the individual. And by the way, it's in the immigration bill, in the Obama thing, that all working Americans have to hand over their biometrics. They're going into a database. In the United States of America, everybody's going to have to give over their biometrics. This is also going into Africa. Africa is going into a database. Mexico is going into a biometric database. Japan is going into a biometric database. And they asked the people in Japan, what would you prefer? Paying with a credit card or debit card, or just paying with your finger? And most of the people said, we'd rather pay with our finger. So your finger will become some kind of a number. And where else? Yeah, Europe's going into it, into a biometric database. And guess what? The United Nations said this as well. The United Nations is calling for every single person on the face of the planet to have a national ID card. And without it, you'll not be able to have a job, you won't be able to open a bank account, a sport event, or nothing. This is going worldwide, people. This is a global effort. Remember that. This is a global effort. They're working global. So before I close, I want you guys to listen to this video. It's literally incredible. This is from Law and Order, talking about the microchip. So let's listen to it, and I want to explain it after, how they try to make everything sound convenient. Okay, here we go. And this is what the Bible says right here, people. Revelation. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, say he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. See, it doesn't say he causes a few, some, a little. It says he causes all. That's universal. That's the globe. To receive a mark. It doesn't say to receive a new credit card, a new form of money. It says a mark. Total cashless society. Prophesied in the Bible 2,000 years ago. There's your proof that the Bible is true. God says, I'm going to tell you before it happens, and look what's happening right now. Okay, right here, listen to this. Here it is, Law and Order. This is incredible. Listen to it.
Whatever you need. Why don't we start with a tour of the house? With the bedrooms? I'll keep Mackenzie company. All right, well, they're this way, but it's almost your bedtime. I'm late. I got your note. Are you okay? She can't talk. She's frightened. No, she's not. She's this way. And you need to tell me what they're doing to you, because if you're in danger, I'll take you out of here. No matter where I go, she'll find me. Mackenzie's not going to let her. No. You said in your note that they put something inside of you. What was it? A computer chip. Mackenzie. It has all my information on it. It goes everywhere I go. That's how they found me yesterday. Okay, I can't hide. They didn't find you. We did. And there's no computer chip inside you. There is. Look. Looks like you got a shot. She was in the shot. I cut off your finger and put it in. Look, there's nothing in your arm. They probably told you that so you would behave. No. Okay, I'm not lying. It's for real. Please just feel it. What is that? I told you. A computer chip. RFID chip, radio frequency identification. Like they put in dogs. It's the same basic technology. So the birds can track every single move their daughter makes. Not yet. In the future, chips will be equipped with GPS. But for now, they simply carry a 16-digit number unique to each client. So why would the Burtons freak their kid out now? They can't even put her under surveillance yet. To save her life. If she were ever in an accident, the hospital could scan the implant and retrieve valuable medical information. So can any third-rate hacker, or Uncle Sam for that matter. How much private information can you put in these chips? The applications are unlimited. In the future, we'll be able to track children, the elderly, criminals, immigrants. Welcome to the New World Order. Just so you know, nobody forced Mackenzie into this. I don't do any implantations on children without their consent. How could you put that inside your child without her consent? I didn't. She wanted it. Mackenzie? Is that true?
I had to say I did. If I didn't, she'd never let me go outside again.
Kiddo, you were not being punished.
Sweetie. Honey, you know how much I worry about you. I just want to keep you safe. You don't even like me. You just want elephants.
Mackenzie!
For Matt.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? It's the same thing they plant in dogs. I had somebody on my Facebook saying that they had their animal with a chip in it, and they said, guess what? They know more about the owner than they know more about the dog, and now they're trying to say here, oh, we gave you a chip because you know how much we love you. So basically, she can't get lost because we'll be able to identify them immediately from satellite. This is where we're headed, people. So I just want to let you guys be aware. This is exactly what the Bible said, and this is all going to happen to those that are going to be left behind. God has recorded it down for the people that will find themselves here during the tribulation to prepare them, to warn them not to take this, so they will know that God's word is true. He told us this is exactly what's happening. The Bible says it, and here's the proof. This is what's happening. And that's why we have all these technologies here right before our eyes. And remember this. Future events cast their shadows before them. All the stuff that's happening with the technology, RFID chips, all this, it's just a prelude to what is coming. So brothers and sisters in Christ, look up. Jesus is coming very soon. And God bless.